In the quiet snow globe perfection of Kingston Falls, a father brings home the ultimate Christmas gift for his son, a creature of ancient myth bound by 3 simple rules. What follows is not a whimsical adventure, but a meticulously orchestrated unraveling of the American idyll, where festive cheer curdles into anarchic terror. To understand Gremlins is to recognize it as a film of profound contradiction. Released in the summer of 1984 under the Amblin Entertainment banner, it was marketed as a Spielbergian fantasy. Yet, director Joe Dante, a veteran of Roger Corman's low-budget Shock Factory, infused the project with a subversive, almost punk sensibility. The script by Chris Columbus was notably darker, featuring scenes cut for being too intense, like a gremlin exploding in a microwave, a moment that survived only in test screenings and legend. The production itself was a feat of analog ingenuity. The Mogwai in Gremlins were not digital creations, but puppets, brought to life by Chris Wallace and his team. Each creature required multiple puppets for different actions, one for walking, another for close-ups, specialized ones for stunts. The famous Stripe scene, where Gizmo is fed after midnight, involved a puppet with a mechanical spine that could arch and transform in real time. This tangible physical presence gives the film's horror a weight that CGI often lacks. Kingston Falls is presented not just as a setting but as a character, a platonic ideal of small-town America draped in tinsel and nostalgia. It's a place where the local bar is named the Furville, where the hardware store owner knows everyone by name, and where the greatest threat seems to be a malfunctioning automatic Santa. This meticulous establishment of normalcy is crucial. It makes the invasion that follows feel like a violation of something sacred, a tearing at the very fabric of communal safety. The film's central artifact, the Mogwai, is a perfect metaphor for consumer desire. Mr. Wing, the mysterious shopkeeper, warns Billy's father with grave seriousness about the 3 rules: no bright light, don't get them wet, and never feed them after midnight. These are not suggestions. They are the conditions of a contract. The father, Randall Peltzer, played with hapless charm by Hoyt Axton, hears them but doesn't listen. He is seduced by the creature's cuteness, by the promise of being the hero who brings magic home. In his transaction, he isn't buying a pet. He's purchasing Pandora's box. Gizmo represents innocence and purity, a being of inherent goodness, but his offspring, spawned from a single drop of water, are something else entirely. They are ID unleashed. Where Gizmo is cautious and melodic, the new Mogwai are impulsive, screeching, and immediately drawn to chaos. Their transformation into gremlins is not just a physical change, it's the shedding of any pretense of civility. They become pure appetite and mischief, reflecting the darker impulses their human counterparts keep carefully suppressed. The gremlins themselves are agents of anarchic critique. They don't seek world domination in a grand villainous sense. Instead, they engage in a systematic defilement of suburban signifiers. They overrun a bar, not to drink, but to create a cacophonous, sloppy parody of socialization. They invade a movie theater, not to watch Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, but to howl and throw popcorn, reducing collective art to disruptive noise. Their violence is often cartoonish, but it's directed at the icons of orderly consumer life. Consider the film's most quietly devastating scene. Billy's mother, Lynn, fighting a gremlin in her own kitchen. It's a brutal, intimate sequence. She uses the tools of domesticity as weapons. A blender, a microwave. The setting shifts from the heart of the home to a gruesome battleground. This isn't a monster lurking in a distant castle. It's in the sink behind the refrigerator. The safety of the suburban fortress is breached in the most personal way imaginable. The film's tone is its most audacious trick. It pivots on a dime from slapstick, a gremlin wearing sunglasses and sipping a cocktail, to genuine horror, like the shadowy, gnashing creatures swarming in the YMCA pool. This instability mirrors the emotional whiplash of the story itself. We are invited to laugh at the gremlins' antics, only to be suddenly confronted with their capacity for real visceral harm. It denies the audience a stable footing, forcing us to feel the disorientation of the townspeople. Kate's monologue about why she hates Christmas is the film's bleak, beating heart. In a single unbroken take, she recounts the traumatic death of her father, who dressed as Santa and died in a chimney trying to surprise her. This story, seemingly a non sequitur, lays bare the film's central anxiety, the gap between the idealized fantasy we construct, the perfect gift, the perfect family, the perfect Christmas, and the messy, often tragic reality that lurks beneath. The Gremlins are the physical manifestation of that repressed truth bursting forth. Joe Dante populates his film with cinematic in-jokes and references, from the It's a Wonderful Life playing on TV to the cameo by animator Chuck Jones. But these aren't just Easter eggs. They reinforce the theme of artifice versus reality. Kingston Falls is itself a cinematic construct, a backlot town. The Gremlins are literally movie monsters, and their rampage feels like a critique of the very medium, a rebellion of the special effect against the narrative that contains it. The resolution is tellingly ambiguous. The Gremlins are defeated not by a grand army, but by sunlight and ingenuity. Mr. Wing returns to reclaim Gizmo, delivering the film's final chilling lesson. With Mogwai comes much responsibility, for not everyone can care for him properly. The problem was never the creature itself, but human folly. The town is saved, but the snow globe has been cracked. The innocence is gone, replaced by a wary knowledge. Gremlins endures not merely as a holiday cult classic, but as a remarkably coherent piece of social horror. It is a film about the consequences of desire, without understanding of bringing the exotic and dangerous into a closed system that cannot contain it. The Gremlins are our own carelessness and consumption made flesh, our neglected responsibilities taking monstrous form. It uses the iconography of Christmas, a time of prescribed joy and gift-giving, as the perfect backdrop for a story about rules broken and chaos invited. The film suggests that the darkness isn't something that invades from the outside world. It's something we willingly, if naively, bring into our homes, where it multiplies in the dark, waiting for us to forget the rules just once. In the final shot, Mr. Wing walks away into the mist, Gizmo in tow. The magical creature is removed from the realm of commerce and returned to mystery. Kingston Falls will recover, decorate again, and perhaps next Christmas will be quieter. But the film leaves us with a lingering unease, a suspicion that the true horror isn't the monster you fight in your kitchen, but the realization that you were the one who opened the door and let it in. Thank you for watching until the end. We pour our passion into every single video essay, exploring the stories behind the movies we all love. If you stumbled upon this video by chance, there is a very high probability you might never see our channel again in your feed. So please, take a moment to hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and ring the bell. We are actively growing this community of cinema lovers, and your support is what helps us make our content better and more insightful every single day. Let's explore the magic of filmmaking together. See you in the next one.